Indian markets end off their intraday peaks. Broader indices underperformed. The Sensex and the Nifty, however, scaled 52-week highs, remain just short of record levels. Midcaps and the Nifty Bank indices post gains.
Nvidia reports record sales and profits in the third quarter. Growth outlook also beats estimates, soothing frayed nerves on Wall Street and in other markets around the world. This spells fears over AI valuations, at least for now.
M&M targets organic growth of 15 to 40% across their businesses till 2030, aims to be the world's fastest growing SUV brand and top light commercial vehicle brand. Mahindra Holidays invests 1,000 crore rupees to foray into leisure hospitality. The Great Indian Bull Run well and truly on. You're watching us here on Markets Forward, your go-to show where we tell you all the key data points that took place today and also gear you up for the trading day tomorrow. 25,200, so close yet so far from the all-time high on our frontline indices. I'm Mangala Malu, with me Surbhi. Surbhi, what a day it was.
Oh, absolutely. Tantalizing, teasing. You can use all kinds of objectives because we're almost there, 30 points away. That's what it was. But then some profit-taking kind of set in. But nonetheless, the market had a fair amount of momentum. And what was interesting was that while other global markets came roaring back, thanks to Nvidia, it's not like India was completely letting itself down. We held our own. A lot of the gains were intact. But yes, it was more a large cap day than a mid cap day. So we'll talk a lot about these trends as we go forward, the constituents of today's rally as well. But all in all, not a bad session, one could say, Manglam.
Not a bad session, barring the last hour where we saw some profit-taking, understandable because of the overheatedness of the market itself. But if there was a phrase to explain, it was basically all guns blazing. Why do we say that? The smooth shifting of baton that took place over the last few trading sessions, if you look at it, it was the Nifty Bank, which was doing well, all-time high yesterday as well. Took a bit of a backseat before coming back in the second half. And yesterday, what was it that supported the frontline index? It was the IT index. And today, the Nifty Bank as well as the IT index, both of them took a bit of a breather. It was the third wheel. It was Reliance. Just look at the big move that we saw in Reliance, ended at the higher end of today's trading session. So this smooth passage of the baton ensured that the Nifty run continued, irrespective of what was taking place in the broader end of the market. And on that itself, let's tell you what we have on the show today for you. We start obviously with the top movers and shakers of the day today, more decliners than advancers in the trading session by the end of it all. Mahindra outlines an ambitious growth roadmap at the Investors' Day. Adani Enterprises, they win the bid to acquire debt-ridden JP Associates, and Nvidia quells AI concerns after posting a strong set of earnings in their third quarter. And last but not least, we prepare you for trade tomorrow, delve into the key market events you need to watch out for. So, first up, let's go straight across to Hormaz, who has all the top movers and shakers.
It was a fantastic day indeed, although we did not reach those record high levels, but no reason to complain whatsoever, and led predominantly by the financials. The Bajaj twins were in charge on the index today. M&M Financial had a good day. HDFC Bank contributed to the gains as well. So financials were up and running in today's session, but what did not have a very good day were the new listings, the new kids on the block. Grow had a very forgettable day, another 8% after that 10% circuit in the previous day. Physics Wala had a very sharp intraday recovery from the lows that it made and managed to end in the green. So it was a 17% recovery from the lows of the day. Tenco Clean also saw some profit booking, and Lenskart ending 3.5% lower in today's session. PSU Banks was another pocket that was sulking in today's session. Every constituent of the PSU Bank index ended lower in today's session, be it the larger ones or the smaller ones, losses of anywhere between 1.5% to 3%. Stocks that were moving on the back of strong volumes in today's session, Radico Khaitan was one of them. Natco Pharma and IEX made up in the list of names moving on strong volumes with a 4.5% move. And lastly, stocks that ended at a 52-week high in today's session. Hitachi Energy continues to move higher. Add to the two-wheeler names, Eicher Motors and Hero MotoCorp. Hero, of course, getting a second upgrade in as many days. And AI Engineering too had a good day, ending at a 52-week high today.
Okay, all right, Hormaz, thanks very much. So plenty of buzzers, movers and shakers on the street today. Let's get going then. Mahindra and Mahindra hosted its Investor Day, where the company outlined its ambitious future roadmap. The conglomerate is targeting organic growth of 15 to 40% across its businesses by 2030. Sudarshan joins in to lay down M&M's expansive growth blueprint. Sud.
So first I'll talk about Mahindra Group. It's holding the biggest ever investor day where all the 12 group CEOs are participating, and ahead of the investor day, these group companies have released details on the exchanges giving the very strong outlook over the next few years. So as a group over FY22 to 25, the organic growth was 25%. Now going forward for FY26 to 30, now the target is in the range of 15% on the lower side, and on the upside it's as high as 40%. Now coming to revenue outlook, where the group has given for 1 decade, that is from FY20 to FY30. For SUV and LCV, the growth target is 8 times. Tractor, 3 times. Truck and bus, which used to be earlier known as SML Isuzu, 6 times. And for Mahindra Last Mile Mobility, the growth target is 6 times. Coming to the market share, for LCV less than 3.5 tons, in FY25, market share was 51.7. Now in FY26, it's seen rising to 54.1%. For SUV, in FY25, market share was 22.7%. That can increase to more than 26%, that is to 26.4%. For tractor outlook, the group companies have raised the outlook till FY30. So earlier, tractor industry outlook for FY25 to 30 was 7% CAGR. Now it's been increased to 9%, and demand would be raised by the company. Group is seeing demand for higher horsepower tractors, that is in the range of 40 to 50. They've also mentioned few aspirations. For SUV, they want to be world's fastest growing SUV brand. LCV, they want to be #1 brand across segments and applications. For tractor, they want to transform lives of farmers globally by democratizing technology. For truck and bus, they want to be amongst top 3 in India's ILCV trucks, that is basically school bus and truck, focused mainly in higher commercial vehicles. In EV, they want to be #1 in eCV company with 1 million EVs on road by 2031. For M&M Finance, they want to be amongst most trusted financial services provider for Bharat. So it means they want to focus on rural area, and till FY30, they see 5 times AUM growth. For Tech Mahindra, turnaround is expected to be completed by FY27. On a similar trend, they have a huge target for Mahindra Holidays and Mahindra Life also. So big investor day and a big outlook by Mahindra Group.
Indeed, take that point, Sudarshan. Big investor day, big outlook as well. Good time to welcome our guests. Amrish Balika joins in. Along with him is Ruchit Jain as well. Amrish, coming to you first. What do you make of all these projections that the Mahindra Group has made for growth across its companies, and in this wide ranged names that we have in this, in the conglomerate, which is the most investable idea right now?
See, there are 2 most investable ideas in that group. One here is a flagship, Mahindra and Mahindra. Looking at the way, the SUV market is going, that's the major market right now, and Mahindra is a leader there. And even in EVs, the sort of vehicles they have launched, I think they will be the leaders even going ahead. So Mahindra and Mahindra is clearly one of them. And the second one is Mahindra Holidays, which again I've been recommending for a while. I think that's one stock which can, in fact, become a multi-bagger going ahead. Because they are clearly doubling the number of keys they have, and now they are setting up a new leisure subsidiary. But I think the most important thing to be looked out here is that Mahindra Holidays has completed 25 years. So the first set of subscribers who had in fact paid for the capex done in the last 25 years, they would be moving out one by one, and those assets will become free. I think market is yet to look at this side of the trigger. I think this should play out at least over the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, all right. Got that point, Amrish. Do stay on. We'll have more questions for you in just a bit. But let's also address what was the biggest global story of the day. Chip maker Nvidia alleviated fears of AI spending turning into a bubble with a strong third-quarter performance that surpassed Wall Street's expectations. The world's most valuable company's guidance for fourth-quarter sales was also stronger than what the street had factored in. Hormaz is here with more details. Hormaz.
Too good to be true. That's not possible. Mano ya na mano. You can use all of these phrases when you look at Nvidia's results this quarter, but the numbers don't lie. It is what it is. Now, yet another blockbuster quarter from the world's most valuable company, and markets across the globe are breathing a sigh of relief. Now, we all know Nvidia's results were a beat on expectations, but that's not it. Here's a bigger picture. Now, for the first 9 months of the year, Nvidia has reported sales of close to $150 billion, profits of close to $80 billion. And for the fourth quarter, it has made a projection of $65 billion in sales, despite the issues in China. Now, if this guidance holds, the company could well end the year with sales of over $200 billion and profits in excess of $100 billion. But how big is too big? Here are some illustrations to show how big Nvidia actually is. For the first 9 months of this fiscal, Nvidia's profit is $77 billion. Now compare that to the sales reported by its closest competitors, Intel and AMD, for the same time frame. That is close to $60 billion. This shows that Nvidia is earning more than two of its closest rivals put together are managing to sell. Now that is some statement. Now, more than the results, the global markets are also breathing a sigh of relief from Jensen Huang's remarks. He mentioned on the earnings call about the AI bubble, saying that from their vantage point, they see something very different. And when the CEO of the world's largest AI chip supplier says all is well, the market surely takes note of it. Nvidia recently hit $5 trillion in market cap. You heard that right, $5 trillion. Now, the journey from 4 trillion to 5 trillion happened very quickly. It took only 79 trading sessions. We hit 2 trillion in Feb of 24, went to 3 trillion in June of 24. Then we had a bit of a sell-off. Then we hit 4 trillion in July of this year. And then we hit $5 trillion very recently. Now, the last time when the stock had hit $4 trillion, we tried analyzing what if Nvidia was a country. Today, we tell you what if Nvidia was a stock market on its own. After a brief post-listings, post-5 trillion slump, the market cap is now below that $5 trillion mark. But even at $4.5 trillion, Nvidia is only smaller than the stock markets of China, Japan, Hong Kong, India, and of course, the United States. Here's another illustration of how big Nvidia is. Out of the 13 quarters at the fourth quarter of FY23, Nvidia had sales of around $6.5 billion. Now, for the current ongoing fourth quarter of FY26, the sales projection is $65 billion. That's a 10x jump in just 3 years. The exponential growth shows up in the stock price as well. Between 2020 and 2024, Nvidia stock has doubled or even tripled in value in 4 out of the 5 years. Even this year, the stock has more than doubled from its tariff lows, but such was the damage that even today, the year-to-date gain is only 35%. CLSA has retained its high conviction outperform rating on the stock with a target of $270. Despite this surge, only 1 out of the 79 analysts that track the stock has a sell rating on it. If CLSA's target is higher, there are targets even higher, as high as $350 on Nvidia. So in this battle of David versus Goliath, the Goliath keeps getting bigger and better, and the Davids around it are also cheering the results with share price moves of their own. Nvidia has categorically stated that the AI boom is here to stay, and it wants to have the largest share of that pie, one chip at a time.
Oh, and it is reigning supreme. And how Horma's very, very interesting analysis there. Those are just absolutely mind-boggling numbers, right? When you see what has happened in a matter of just 2-3 years. So quite phenomenal. Thank you for that. Amrish, now we can't discuss Nvidia. We don't have, that's not what we are doing here, but we can discuss NetWeb, right? And that's been a stock that's been seen as a, Nvidia play here in India. They're one of the suppliers, but the stock has also rallied a lot. It's off its all-time high. What's your sense on it?
As long as we have the AI rally, possibly we could also see NetWeb also moving up. Just about 2-3 days back, there was a fear of a crack because of Nvidia earnings. But then with such encouraging earnings, I think this fear will shift for at least another quarter more. So I think come February, again, the same issues will again come into the markets. So from a short-term angle, yes, I think NetWeb can move up more from here, maybe levels of about 3,800, 4,000.
All right, that's the point. Rojit, coming to you, Reliance is, the top contributor. We've seen the stock move a bit. It's at a 52-week high, but, not quite there at the all-time high as well. What's your view on this stock, and where do you think it goes from here? Was this up move today just an aberration or maybe the start of a move?
I think it seems to be more of a continuation of the uptrend. The stock has seen a good up move from that 1360, which were the recent swing highs. And if you look at the previous swing high on 9th of July, the stock had faced a resistance around 1545. And today it has closed above that previous swing high resistance. So this clearly indicates a continuation of the uptrend. And if you look at today's entire day's volume, they were better than what we usually see on a daily basis. So a breakout above previous swing high supported by high volumes is just a sign that we should see a continuation of the upward move. So I think 1600, which were 1590, 1600, which were all-time highs, that should be seen quite soon in Reliance Industries.
To say the same of another big heavyweight, HDFC Bank, that too hasn't set the street on fire with its move. It's been the other parts of the Nifty Bank which have been doing well. HDFC Bank today woke up. It was up around 1.5%, ended at the higher end of today's trading range. Do you see a similar pattern for HDFC Bank as well?
I think if you compare this entire up move in the stocks such as Reliance, HDFC Bank, along with the markets, then I think this leg of up move has been led by these heavyweights itself. If you look at Nifty returns versus the mid cap and the small caps also, then in this month itself, in month of November, Nifty is up by 2%, Bank Nifty is up by almost 3%, while the small cap is down by 2%. So clear there has been a divergence in the mid and the small cap stocks and the mid cap and the large caps in this month. And I think that trend is likely to continue at least towards the end of this month. So the large caps leadership, if we see, then stocks such as Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, these are few names where a clear outperformance is there. So even HDFC Bank on charts looks good. The stock has seen a good base formation around its 50 DEM of 985, 990. Until that is intact, we expect higher levels around 1040, 1050. So short-term trading opportunities, if one is looking, then it's best to look opportunities within the large cap space itself.
Okay. All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining in and giving us all your perspective and views on the market and stocks. We have to take a very quick break. Come back on the other side and we'll get you the top corporate voices of the day as well as the events to watch tomorrow. Welcome back. As promised, let's get you all the corporate action of the day. It was a muted D-Street debut for Fujiyama Power. The stock listed at a 4% discount to the issue price. Chairman Pawan Kumar told us that the company aims to cut debt and interest costs by 50%. He added that the new Ratlam facility will double its overall capacity.
And the giant Wonderla Holidays has, they expect 7 to 8 lakh visitors in a year in its new Chennai park, which opens on December 2nd. This will grow to about 1 million by the third year of operations. The management told CNBC-TV18 it could reach break-even in the first to second year when it comes to the EBITDA level, and payback period would be over the next 6 to 7 years. They're also in talks with several state governments, including the likes of Mumbai, Maharashtra, and Delhi, Gurgaon, for setting up parks in those major cities.
Founder of Quant Mutual Fund, Sandeep Tandon, told CNBC-TV18 that several factors now support a strong pullback rally in the market, and he even expects the Nifty and other frontline indices to hit fresh all-time highs as early as December. Tandon added that he sees opportunities in neglected sectors such as insurance, NBFCs, and some private sector banks.
All right, and as always, before we wrap up, we'll get you all the key market events to watch out for tomorrow. Upasana Bhatt standing by with the events.
Well, first up, let us look at the global economic cues. US will be reporting its Fed balance sheet that will be out tomorrow, Japan core CPI data, and back home, that is in India, S&P global manufacturing PMI data will be out tomorrow. So let us look at the key stocks that will be on our radar on the back of corporate action. Stocks like Oil India, IRCTC, MRF, Sonata Software, all these stocks will trade ex-dividend tomorrow, so they will be in focus. Next up is Kotak Mahindra Bank. Board will consider proposal of stock split. Now on the IPO front, Sudeep Pharma opens for subscription, while Excel Soft Technologies will close for subscription. And furthermore, in terms of listing, Capillary Technologies will be listing on exchanges tomorrow, so we'll be keeping an eye out on that as well. Now, let us look at some of the key important events tomorrow, such as PM Modi to attend G20 summit in South Africa. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman pre-budget consultation with industry stakeholders in sectors like energy and infra will be taking place tomorrow morning, so we'll be tracking that as well. And lastly, Piyush Goyal will be visiting Israel, and the talks on trade, technology and investment is what is being discussed there. So all in all, looks like quite an eventful day tomorrow.
Okay, all right, Upasna, we will track all of those events very, very carefully. Thank you for getting us the latest. Well, with that, it's time for Mangalam and me to take your leave. But before we go, Mangalam, now, he's a veteran in the market, right? Yep. He's someone who has seen so many market cycles, usually someone who's seen as a bit of a conservative fund manager, someone who, checks the numbers very, very carefully. I'm talking about Prashant Jain. And guess what? He's turned positive on the market, he says he's the most positive on the market in 35 years.
Wow. And the last 35 years, if something is to go by, it's been a big, big rally that we've seen in the Indian markets. And if he's more positive now, where do we go from here? Well, let's hear out Prashant Jain. What we'll do is take your leave and you stay tuned to CNBC-TV18. More news and updates follow.
I compare India with its own past and I feel optimistic about that. And so, I think 6 to 7% should not be difficult. But I think we are capable of growing faster. In 2000, blue-collar salary in Mumbai was 4,000 rupees a month. A starting software engineer's salary was about 30,000 rupees a month, 8 times that. Today, the both have converged. There are far more blue-collared in India than white-collared. Only 25% of Indians earn a fixed wage. That number globally is 50 to 75%. So I feel very optimistic about the rising purchasing power of blue-collared workers. So I feel these themes have got there is business merit in those themes, but I think investment merit is clearly missing. So in my mind, clearly it is large caps over small mid caps. And look at it. In Nifty stocks, there is no supply of fresh stock. All the supply is in non-Nifty stocks. So I think that also favors large caps outperforming. I like large banks, I like insurance, I like software also. I am not so negative. Pharma is good, automobiles is good. I would be very cautious on consumer staples, white goods, brown goods, companies, even retail companies. But even tobacco, telecom, oil and gas, utilities, these are also sensibly valued there.